What's good, everybody? It's your boy, the Q-Tip, and we're back with another video. We're back with another women's college basketball preview today. It is Iowa versus Iowa State. They play tonight in Ames, Iowa. Huge game, huge proportions. Iowa and Iowa State is always a big game, whether it's women's college basketball, men's college basketball, college football, whatever the case may be. It's always super, super important, and you can always feel the intensity in whatever the game is. Before we get into it fully, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Just dropped a video about Sarah Strong and some other players that could be in the National Player of the Year considerations. We dropped some videos about some teams. We did some ACC, SEC challenge, all kinds of different things. So make sure you guys are tapping in with that. I think this is day 8. Yes, day 8 of me posting every single day for the month of December. So make sure you guys are tapping with that as well. And let's get right into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this matchup. So Iowa has won the last 3 from 2022, 23, and 24. Audi Crooks last season had 30 points, 10 rebounds. Well, had a 30 and 10 game. I think she had like 31 points, 11 rebounds. But the gist of it is she had 30 and 10 plus. And they still didn't come out with the win. Lucy Olsen had a really good game. She ended up scoring, I think it was 25. And I think that was like, at that part of the season was her best game of the season for Iowa. So her best game of the season came at a great time. And now this is a very interesting matchup. Iowa State's ranked 10. Iowa's ranked 11. And I think this is a fairly even matchup. Like, I think this could go either way. I think it comes down to a few things, but we'll get to those. Audi Crooks is averaging 27 points, 6 rebounds this season, shooting like 70% from the field. Obviously, for Iowa, your biggest key is trying to slow her down, trying to contain her. And they have some bodies that have the potential to try to do that. Ava Heiden, obviously. You have Hannah Stolke, and you have Layla Hayes, who are all bigger bodies that you can potentially throw at least around Audi Crooks to make things a little bit difficult, make the shots a little bit more difficult. I don't know if they'll be able to like fully contain her in the post, but I think if they're doing what they should be and helping in the post, like when she turns and when she's trying to get different shots, I think they can contain her a little bit. This is a game where I'm looking at Addy Brown for sure. She's averaging 12 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 53% from the floor, 44 from 3, and 83% from the free throw line. Just a super, super versatile player, one of my favorite players in the country. I had a video about her before the season started. So I'm never surprised with the way that she plays. And I do think in bigger games, she tends to be more aggressive, at least looking for her shot. And I think this will be one of those games where she does. And I don't know if there's a player on Iowa that can really slow her down if she really wants to be aggressive offensively. Not to say that Iowa doesn't have good defenders, because I think they do, but I think Addy Brown caused a mismatch problem for almost any team in the country, if we're being completely honest. It's not just Iowa. Like, I think there's a lot of teams that wouldn't have a matchup for her because she's able to score in a bunch of different ways in a bunch of different spots on the floor. And those kinds of players are hard to scout for in terms of who you're going to put on them, because if you put a bigger person on them, she can go around them. If you put a smaller person on them, she can take them in the post. She can go to the rim. So she's got multiple different ways of scoring, and she's super efficient as well. So really hard player to try to scout for. Jada Williams. I said the same thing about Leah Chavez last week. Jada Williams, you just want her to be efficient, make good decisions, and the rest will work itself out. She's averaging 10 points, 6 assists, shooting 43% from the floor, 24 from 3, and 96 from the free throw line. I don't think you necessarily need her to shoot the 3 ball well. If she's going to take them, you need her to shoot them well. But if she doesn't take them as often, you don't need her to make those shots. But you would want her to be able to make it occasionally, so that the thought of it, not even like she's feared, but just like they respect it enough, you know? Because if she's a player that just wants to get downhill and wants to shoot the midi, then that's a pretty easy player to guard, even though she's got a good speed and a good handle. If I know you're not going to shoot the 3, I'm just going to go under on all the screens, and it makes it much, much easier to guard you. For Iowa State, I'm looking at the players outside of like your top 2 players, and Addy Brown and Audi Crooks. I'm looking at players like Kenzie Hare. Can she have a game where Not necessarily like she's scoring 20 points a game. When I say I'm looking for players to have bigger games, it's more so, at least for role players, it's more so like timing of shots, timing of stops, or creating of turnovers, things like that. Like just the small things that you'll only be able to notice if you're watching the game. Like, oh, she hit 3 threes, but all 3 of those threes were at really good times, or she hit 2 in a row, gave them a 6 point lead, stuff like that, like small things like that. That's what I'm looking at Kenzie here for. Sydney Harris, Ariana Jackson, Alyssa Williams, Lily Talalay, Reagan Wilson, like all those players. Which of those players is going to be the one to step up and give Iowa State and give Audi Crooks and Addy Brown the help they need in a big game like this? As far as Iowa, I love Ava Heiden's game. I think she's one of the best players in the country. She's only a sophomore. She's averaging 16 and 9, a steal and a block game. Hannah Stokey's defense is going to be really important in this game, like I said earlier. And I do think Hannah Stokey offensively, both Hannah Stokey and Ava Heiden offensively, could cause Audi Crooks some trouble, because Ava Heiden has the foot speed to go around her, and Hannah Stokey has the physicality to play in the post with her. So there is a chance that they could get Audi Crooks into some foul trouble and try to get her off the court and play that way. I will say Ava Heiden is also really good at running the floor, so that could be another thing where they could use Audi Crooks being on the court against Iowa State, is just being able to just run, like get the rebound, and Ava Heiden just rim run every single time. Hannah Stokey is phenomenal at that too. Like her and Caitlin Clark used to just, like, as soon as Caitlin Clark gets the rebound, she's looking, Hannah Stokey's running, she's got her. So those two players can negate what Audi Crooks does on the court with that, at the very least. I do think they have a chance to contain her offensively. I'm not going to say that they will. And then you have Taylor McCabe, you have Kylie Feuerbach, Chit-Chat Wright, potentially. She was hurt, then she came back against Rutgers and got hurt again, so we don't know for sure if she's playing yet. You still have Taylor Strimlow, and you have Addy Deal as well. All those guards, that's who I'm looking at for this game. Like I talked about Iowa State, I'm looking at Kenzie Harris, Sydney Harris, etc. For Iowa, I'm looking at players like Taylor McCabe, Kylie Feuerbach. Kylie Feuerbach was struggling a bit from the field, and then had a 17-point game against, I can't remember who that was. It was the game before Rutgers. But I'm not saying I need them to go get 17 points. Again, I'm not saying that I need any of them to go get 15 to 20 points tonight. If they do, they do. But it's when you're scoring, what kind of plays are you making? Taylor Strimlow, how is she creating for others? Is she getting shots for herself? Addy Deal, is she efficient with the shots that she's taking? Things like that. Like the little things that you're going to need from players. Obviously, with Iowa, you're going to want your perimeter players to make the three ball efficiently. But you also want to get good looks. You want to get easy looks. You want to get out in transition and things like that. So this is going to be an interesting matchup in terms of whose philosophy wins. Is Audi Crooks and Addy Brown, are they able to dominate the game and put their imprint on the game and just make it like one of those games where you just can't stop either one of them? Or is it going to be where Iowa eventually runs their pace, runs their style of basketball, and then eventually wears on Iowa State and they can't keep up? Or is it just going to be both teams are able to run both of their, or to put both of their systems and both of their philosophies out on the court, and it's just whoever's is better wins, that kind of thing. So it's a very interesting matchup. Obviously, a big game. Iowa State, I think they lost their college football head coach this week to a different job, not to anything else. So there is a chance that the people that are in the stands today are like very, very amped up. If that's the word, I think that's the word I want to use. They could be very amped up. So this could be a crazy atmosphere. And I think, again, like I said, Iowa State is always a big game. I think regardless of what the teams look like, the crowd would be there because it's Iowa and Iowa State. But both of these teams are really good. Like I said, top 10 or top 11, I guess. Iowa State being 10, Iowa being 11, has implications for March because both teams are about to go into their conference play. Big 10 for Iowa, Big 12 for Iowa State. And then obviously when you get to March and you start to talk about resume building and things like that, these are the games that we're going to look back at, not just the conference play, but we're going to look at non-conference and the big games in non-conference. If Iowa's able to go on the road and beat Iowa State, this would be their 4th straight win against Iowa State. But if they're able to go on the road and beat Iowa State and they handle business, and I'm not saying, when I say handle business, I don't mean go undefeated or anything like that in the Big Ten. But if they say I don't know how many games for sure they play, but say they only lose like 3 to 4 games in conference play. When it gets to, and say they're a 3 or 4 seed, or they're in the conversation to be a 3 or 4 seed, say Iowa State only loses 2 to 3, this game matters in that situation, because if Iowa has that win over Iowa State in Ames, I should say, then obviously they would get the nod of getting that higher seed. Same thing for Iowa State. If they're able to get a good win over a very good Iowa team at home, and neither win needs to be like convincing. Like, just get the win. That's really all that matters in these kinds of situations. Just get the win. But I'm really excited to see how this game plays out. What players step up, what players make big plays. If I had to guess, I think Addy Brown has a big night. I feel like there's a world where Audi Crooks doesn't have a huge night. I think Jada Williams, this could be like her step into the spotlight night. So I'm looking at Addy Brown and Jada Williams for Iowa State. I think Ava Heiden is going to be phenomenal. And then for Iowa, besides Ava Heiden, I'm going to say Taylor Strimlow. I think Taylor Strimlow has a really good game. Yeah, if I had to choose, I've been thinking about this all day because I knew I was going to record this at some point today. I was even thinking about this yesterday because I was going to record last night, and I was like, no, I'm going to give it a day. I'm going to go, I feel like Iowa State just doesn't want to lose a 4th straight, but Iowa, they might just have Iowa State's number. Like, I'm going to go Iowa State. I'm going to go Iowa State. Very, very close game. I'm going to take them at home. But I think this is a toss-up game. This is a very, very close matchup. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win. If you're an Iowa fan, if you're an Iowa State fan, let me know how you feel about your team's chances or performance. And, yeah, appreciate you guys for watching.